Welcome back to Yakuza Man 2 Super Turbo Edition. Dan.
Yeah, we're still here.
We are still here. Sabo is still killed. Sabo is still dead.
Maybe one day he'll come back.
Ezra Miller put him in a microwave.
Maybe that baby was Hitler, we'll never know. Hitler 2.
They were probably the opposite of Hitler, and that's why Ezra Miller put them in the microwave.
They were reverse Hitler.
They're the exact opposite of what Hitler would do, and he hated that. He couldn't have that. Ezra Miller's heart is too filled with evil to allow it.
Well,
So using his dark powers, he just threw him in the microwave. I don't know, I'm stretching at this point.
we're just talking about a movie that neither of us have seen, or will either of us ever see.
Yeah, even through means, I don't want to watch it.
Just doesn't sound that interesting, honestly. Yeah, even things that you might find objectionable can theoretically seem interesting. Like I was saying before recording, I keep occasionally getting tempted to try live action movies, and then I'll like see something that's not included, and I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? And then I just and then I abandon that, and I'm like, fuck this, I'll watch Gamma instead. That seems alright. Wish the animation frame rate was a little bit higher.
I have finished 2 playthroughs of Armored Core now.
Yeah.
I've gotten both the Liberator ending and the Fires of Raven endings.
Which one do you prefer?
Gameplay or story?
Both.
Okay, I'll do individually. Gameplay, Fires. Fires is just better. All the exclusive Fires missions are just better. The finale is better. It is more fun to play. I like the story of Liberator, but its ending kind of leaves much to be desired. The last missions aren't nearly as good. Though I did like killing Snail. That was fun.
I think I like Liberator more because I just really like I like the set piece for the final boss, you know?
See, I'm the other way around, where I love the set piece of fighting air.
I have some thoughts on air, but I won't say them until you finish playthrough
Until
3,
the third, which I'm on chapter 3, so I'm not too far away from the end.
Oh, how did you enjoy defend the Strider? Wasn't that a fun mission?
Oh yeah, I was so happy to defend the Strider. It was so cool. Me and the Strider were walking together, defending the Strider. It was so good. I fucking hate that mission.
I like the part where they send when you're busy fighting these two enemies that are very mobile, and you're like, oh, okay, this is fine. And then the fucking stun-locking wheel bullshit.
So when I killed those two before the wheels showed up, the first time I fought them, I was like kind of beat up, and I was like, oh, I'm tired. And then the blips show up on the radar, and I see them, and the exact emotion I felt was the same emotion I feel like Goku and Vegeta felt in the second Cooler movie, when there's all the coolers on the fucking mountain. Oh, hi, Sabo.
He escaped the microwave.
Yes, I did.
We were talking about Armored Core 6. But yeah, I don't know where you are in the game.
Oh, I finished all.
Oh no,
I finished
Sabo.
all.
If he's
I
playing
think
it.
he's playing.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't have the game.
Oh, okay. Do you give a shit?
No, go ahead.
Okay, cool.
He doesn't like Armored Core.
Oh.
It's not that I don't like Armored Core. I just didn't usually have the methods to play
I
it.
distinctly remember you telling me, I hate Armored Core Train, I hate it a lot, and I hate 9 Ball, and I hate you. And I was like, wow, that was a very aggressive response to me saying, hello, Sabo, my good friend.
To be fair,
that was back when I was playing Ace R and 9 Ball shows up in it.
To be fair, 9 Ball 1 is a bit difficult, those tank controls.
And it was blocking me from getting
Yeah, he hates it because of Ace.
Because of Ace R and because you need to beat it 13 times to get all the units.
Ah.
Which I still haven't done after 10 years. I think I've only gotten to 8. Because it's just not fun after a while. Ace R is a very poorly designed game.
I don't know. That's not one of the ones I don't think I played that one.
That's because it's Japan exclusive, and unlike Metal Wolf Chaos, it wasn't basically dubbed entirely in English.
No Wolf Chaos, by the way, actually a good game.
Yeah. FromSoft makes good games.
Yeah.
Surprising, I know.
So no, other than that one day when I was raging against Nine Ball, I don't really have much against Armored Core. I just usually don't have the methods to play it when they're new.
Fair.
And then it just kind of...
What are you talking about? This one's on PS4.
Oh, it's on PS4? I thought it was only 5 and PC.
I mean, if it is, I'm surprised because my friend who has neither a PC that's good enough to play Armored Core 6 nor any sort of current gen consoles is playing it.
I didn't know it was on PS4.
Oh yeah, it is on PS4.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
What it was.
By the way, actually,
Maybe
as someone who's playing on the PC version, the PC version runs so good.
Yeah, but my PC is pretty not great right now. In fact, I'm probably need to get something better.
I can't say specifically if your requirements or not, but like the maximum requirements are actually pretty low. I remember looking at it before.
My PC is the point where if I try to do anything like that's not just web browsing, it starts to make loud noises.
Yeah. That sounds like your computer's like got one leg in the grave at this point.
Yeah, it does.
Not just a foot, the whole ass leg.
Pretty much, yeah. It's not the best.
Also, I want to also,
And also for the audience, for the record, this is played on PC, the game that I'm playing right now.
Also, for the record, I enjoy Liberator because fuck Carla and Chatty. She said that goddamn fucking sweeping thing at me, and it was a little tough boss, but it was like, this is just mildly inconvenient.
It took me a couple of tries.
And then Chatty, that worthless fuck with the ice worm boss, where he's sat there like, yeah, I'm helping. The fuck are you doing? Fuck are any of you doing? Rusty's the only one who's helping.
Rusty is a bro. I love Rusty. Like I said, I like Liberator's story, but I like the missions of Fires more. Because, I mean, one of them I get to fly in space infinite and shoot a bunch of ships down, and it's really fucking cool. And then the air fight is honestly really cool, and I like it, and I like the set piece of it. And I felt Walter's boss fight, like, I jobbed him out.
Well, AC fights are easy. Like, solo AC fights are easy. In fact, don't you think the third final boss is tricky?
Put two Zimmermans to his head, pulled my trigger, and now he's dead.
Yeah, that's how you deal with air as well. That's how every.
She was harder to hit, at least. She took me a couple of tries.
I feel like I just did what I normally.
I mean,
do,
the chapter 4 boss is, in my opinion, the hardest one. I think.
Oh, Ibis, yeah.
Yeah, because even my cheese builds struggle with him a little bit.
It's because Ibis has fucking... I don't know how else to describe it except fucking traps.
Traps,
it will be...
he gets a second phase, where he gets full health again, you can't hurt him for a little bit.
It's Millennia, but robot form.
When I first saw it, though, I was like, bitch, they just sent in the Cubile at me, what the fuck?
Yes, but it's more like the fact that it will throw a million projectiles at you in one direction, and then as you're dodging, you get hit by another projectile that it charged up that you had to dodge in the direction where all the other attacks were coming at you from in order to avoid it. And also, it's like, hey, you just need to notice this big red square. Okay, that's easy enough. Also, all of the enemies' attacks are all red. Oh, and also the backdrop is also kind of red. Oh,
everything's
fuck
red.
you.
I've been loving some of the fan art I've seen of like people's interpretations of the pilot. Some of them are pretty cool. There's like one guy who does like a Kojima kind of art style. In fact, let's see if I can get him real quick, so I can just give you his Twitter so you can just like browse through it. Because I know I sent to somebody. Yeah, here it is. He's done some pretty good ones.
Fair enough. I am strictly of the opinion that people inside we don't need to see the flesh, but the filthy, disgusting flesh bags inside the cores. They are worthless. All that matters is the cold perfection of steel.
It kind of reminds me of you making that joke. Reminds me of
what joke?
Reminds me of like, what was it? There's like one of those like tweets where it's like, "Hey, pick a power, but someone gets to pick your weakness." And I was like, cryokinesis, and someone's like, okay, well, your family dies, and you become a cyborg. And I was like, okay, well, the family dies thing makes me a little sad, but cyborg, hello?
Wait, where's the weakness? I'm not seeing it.
Like, I wouldn't want my family to die, but I've also become a cyborg, and that's fucking cool.
So all you're saying is I get superpowers and my family dies.
Well, no, this is me, not you.
Oh.
This is for me, not you. You don't get to have that one. I guess
the weakness of my flesh.
I guess, like, for you, I guess, like, if we were to give you the weakness thing, or, like, the drawback, it's like, yeah, you get whatever power you want, but your family is now immortal.
I'll get the power to torture them and to torture them forever.
One day the crude biomass you call the temple will wither, and you will beg mankind to save you, but I have already saved, for the machine is immortal.
Yeah, I'm just saying, of all the crazy psychotic religious factions in 40k, the Mechanicus are right. You know?
Yeah.
Become machine, win. I look at RoboCop and I don't see that as like a cautionary tale of, you know, the future. I see that as progress.
Well, the RoboCop part, anyway.
Yeah, maybe not the RoboCop 2 part, but I wouldn't also. In my life, I wouldn't let myself be written by Frank Miller.
Okay, but
the point where the corporations control everything and are using crime to keep everyone depressed and miserable and poor and dependent on them is, you know, starting to be reflected in the real world here.
I was gonna say, that's already real life, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, but
we're already at that point. Who cares?
We're at that point where I'm like, all right, but where's the RoboCop point?
Yeah, but hold on though. One thing about the RoboCop 3 though, one thing to consider about going to RoboCop 3. Think about this though, Train. Jetpack. You get a jetpack.
We already have jetpacks.
Yeah, but as bad as RoboCop.
But for your RoboCop body.
I mean, I'd take it. Be better to have a robot body and then have a jetpack, because you're not under the same, you know, stresses that a normal, disgusting, weak human body would be under.
Well, I mean, you'd need a jetpack specifically for the RoboCop body so it can, you know, propel that much weight.
Also, I get to fight Yakuza bots.
True.
Really not seeing a downside here.
I don't know why the Yakuza series doesn't just go to that, fighting Yakuza robots and shit. Just come on, fuck it. Go crazy.
Isn't that just the Ninja Turtles?
Fuck it, go crazy.
Isn't that basically what the Foot Clan is?
It depends on continuity.
Oh yeah, how you liking Shredder's Revenge DLC?
I did play a bit of it, it's pretty good.
So it's pretty good. Usagi was like, no.
I haven't tried Usagi yet, but I have played Karai, and Karai is fun.
Ah, Usagi Yojimbo.
Yes.
I remember you.
I mean, so you should. He's still going.
Yeah, but I remember when they released the figure for the original Ninja Turtles line, and I was like, what is this Rabbit guy? Why is he here? He looks like he's from a totally different series.
See, I didn't think like that when I was a kid. I was just like, "Ooh, look, cool looking toy."
Good old
I thought, like, I know I've said this before. Like, if I had the money and space, like, when it comes to like toy line stuff, if there was one line I could own everything of, it would be like the old Turtles toy line, because they're just really good figures.
You really want that battle blimp, is what it is.
No, I don't really care about the battle blimp. My dream, like set piece turtle stuff is like the very vanilla, basic bitch stuff. Like
had the battle blimp.
Like I want, like, you know, I want the turtle van. I want like the Technodrome, and I want the sewer lair. Like I just want the basic bitch stuff. And, oh wait, and the big fucking Krang figure in terms of like the big shit. Like I said,
I had that one too.
I want a figure of Shredder that comes with the accessory of a woman and her ugly child.
That's strangely specific.
Have you not seen that clip?
I guess not.
Where Shredder's like just next to this woman with a pram, and he looks in the sun. It's like, ugh, ugly child. So she kicks him in the shin.
Ah. Must have forgot that part.
I'll find it later.
I mean, the Shredder had a lot of. You know what other figure I had? Casey Jones.
Everyone loves Casey Jones. But yeah, I'm enjoying. I mean, I'm playing Shredder's Revenge right now.
Wait, is Casey Jones in Shredder's Revenge?
yes.
Excellent.
he's playable.
You unlock him by playing through the story mode.
So, as far as non-DLC character, so all the characters are obviously the 4 turtles, Splinter, April, and Casey.
Actually,
and then DLC.
I'll after you go through it. I just thought of something that, but after you go through it.
And then DLC adds Karai and Usagi Yojimbo. And also a survival mode is really fun.
It is pretty fun.
I mean, I just play Casey Jones and say terrible puns.
Good.
In a bad Eastwood voice chat.
Also, all 4 turtles voice actors reprise their roles.
Did they get Casey Jones?
No.
No. It's just the 4 turtles, I'm pretty sure, for returning VAs.
They have Rocksteady and Bebop's VAs.
Oh, then yeah, fair enough.
I think Rocksteady. I mean, Rocksteady. Well, Rocksteady and Bebop's VAs are the 4 turtles. That's probably why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the bosses from the second movie, I forget the name. Toko
and Razor.
Raz.
Yeah.
Toko and Razor. Yeah, they're in as bosses.
Oh, of course they are.
But also Bebop and Rocksteady.
Well, they are, but they're not.
It's weird.
It's weird.
Vanilla Ice is not in as a boss though, but there is a sort of ninja rap. In so much as it's a rap about Shredder saying how much he hates the turtles.
Oh, I was gonna say, you don't break into a dance club where Vanilla Ice is on stage and he starts rapping.
No, you break into the Technodrome and a rap track of Shredder dissing the turtles plays. Which then turns into a rap track of turtles dissing Shredder.
I was gonna say he's not back because he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
He died a long time ago.
April's not back. I don't think
she retired.
No, I think that was the only role she ever did, and then she's just like, all right, I'm done.
I assume Splinter's dead.
No, he's still around.
Oh, but yeah, he didn't.
The last game he was in was Dragon Age Origins, which was admittedly 13 years ago, so maybe he's retired. I don't think he's dead. I'm pretty sure he's still alive.
And then yeah, Usagi and Karai made up the DLC. So yeah, it is a really and also has just a bunch of cameos that I think and references that are mostly season 1 based. I'm pretty sure.
The DLC survival has some extra ones from other seasons. There's one background where you can see that junior turtle kid, Irma. What's her name? Mona Lisa and that kid from the Red Sky seasons.
Oh, also they added the DLC adds basically palettes of pretty much every major incarnation of the turtles.
Yeah, and some that you unlock via
have,
survival mode too.
So you can have them in Mirage colors, which is they're in black and white, but they get. But unlike Mirage, the comic books, they get colored bandanas because otherwise you wouldn't be able to tell them apart.
It's true.
Also, they get colors based on the movies, colors based on pretty much every animated incarnation, which also weirdly removes the irises for ones based on 2003.
Was it actually? Speaking of that one, April's 2003 one gets the green eyes that the April in that one had.
Yeah, and a midriff.
Yeah.
Impressive sprite work, really. So yeah, just really fun DLC. I highly recommend Shredder's Revenge if you ever want to play a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game that's good.
One way you could play it if you want is I have Parsec. You can just download Parsec and I can just stream the game at you and you can play it.
I mean, he has a Switch and a PlayStation, so you could just play.
I mean, if you wanted to try it out before you bought it, I mean, or if we wanted to play co-op, I could just stream games at you guys and it just uses my computer's resources.
Maybe. Yeah, Shredder's Revenge, pretty fun. Hope to make Shredder's Revenge 2.
The only thing you would need really is a controller. It's actually how a lot of people do those things where they're clearly not in the same room together, but they're playing a weird mod of a PS2 game.
One of the things I do really like though is just some of the animations are fucking.
Oh my god, this fight's fucking annoying.
When Casey Jones does his aerial super, he just pulls a basketball out of nowhere and fucking dunks it on people. And that's his AoE super.
It's really.
I mean, that's pretty much what he does in the show, so it's accurate.
I know April's is where she just like slams down a channel 6 camera.
Yeah.
God damn it. You guys are fucking annoying to fight.
And then Usagi has fucking aerial combos. Oh, and Michelangelo can do like Liu Kang's bicycle kick. There's also just like a bunch of fighting game references in.
Does he do that?
Like Cammy, like was it like Cammy and Chun-Li animations are referenced throughout April's, and also some Karen animations.
Well, April's walk cycle is just Cammy's walk cycle.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. I'm also pretty sure Mikey does like. I think Mikey. No, it's one of the turtles does like E Honda's like. I forget the name. You know, where he like he flies across the screen.
Oh, the Zen headbutt. I think that is Mikey. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they're it. And, you know, Raphael, as I said, voiced by Rob Paulson, so that's always fun.
Yeah.
Raphael, back when he was just a bit of a snarker and not, you know.
Imagey.
Punisher in turtle form.
But yeah, the voice for Casey in this one is like closer to his like 2000s counterpart.
So not a bad Clint Eastwood impression.
Sadly, no.
Not too bad.
If only.
He does say scuzzballs though. But yeah, sadly, it's not a Clint Eastwood impression. Casey Jones.
Casey Jones is gonna clean up this town.
You look like you could use some more iron in your diet. He like bends a fucking bar over their head or some shit.
Yeah.
Thanks, Casey.
I like how they're trying to depict him like he's a lunatic, but he's like his antics are like not any different than what the turtles are doing.
The difference is that he mostly just does his own thing, whereas the turtles will play off each other. Oh yeah.
The difference is sometimes he's like that guy's littering. I have to beat him up. The turtles won't do stuff like that.
Just keep going on Shredder's place.
Yeah, like the turtles usually just fight the Shredder and like his robots, whereas Casey Jones just beats up anybody who looks vaguely thuggish. Which I mean, to be fair, in 1980s New York City, that was probably a smart.
He's probably right, honestly, most of the time.
It's probably a smart way to do things back then.
Probably still the correct way to do things now.
Oh, definitely now, yeah.
It's New York. So.
There was literally a press conference where like the mayor of New York was like, "We have a problem, and I don't know how to fix it."
Help me, Spider-Man.
Basically, he's like, he's.
We'll call the
like,
Goblin Corpse.
I mean, he basically he didn't want to say it, so all of the rich people left and a bunch of thugs came in, and now they're just causing chaos everywhere. But that's pretty much what he said, except not saying it that exact way.
So even after all that work in Central High, New York, we're right back to where New York
Right back to
used
where, yeah,
be.
basically right back to where they started. Because when COVID hit, everyone went down south.
Yeah, New York is probably the worst place to be if you are gonna have a pandemic.
The city in general, honestly.
Well, no, New York specifically, because A, it's one of the largest metropolitan areas of the United States. B, Manhattan is obviously just an island, which means you've got very limited resources that are in the city itself, and everything has to be brought in. And because of the limited space in and around New York, everyone lives in suburbs are obviously a thing, but not as much of a thing. Apartment blocks are way more common. And yeah, those spread diseases quite a lot because close proximity to people, limited space to move. That's how diseases get transmitted.
Give them
Thankfully, I don't have to move stuff in and out of Harlem anymore.
Yeah.
No, she's like she's never going back there.
She goes back tomorrow.
What if you go back to Harlem?
Actually, no, she might be moving to Washington D.C.
Oh, that's even
That's
worse.
worse!
Place to be.
Well,
Yeah,
but
it's like-
but we said, all right, we basically said you're getting movies. We're not making like daily 6-hour trips. To
Yeah,
stuff, so-
that's a nightmare.
yeah. Sorry, and she's like, yeah, that's fair.
New York, sorry, New York. Washington has like some of the worst crime rates.
Jim
This
B.
is
Like,
true.
I think it's only Detroit is worse. That's because it's Detroit.
Yeah, but Detroit does have RoboCop.
Not yet. Maybe if this alleged sequel ever, like RoboCop, this time is actually the RoboCop 2 comes.
I heard at
maybe
least
when this
one
Robo-
person say that for some unholy reason, the remake was better, and I don't understand why.
Who said that?
Just one random asshole, and I was just like, what?
They're just one of those liars. People who say things that are clearly untrue in order to provoke a reaction. Like people who say no, but live action One Piece is obviously good. No.
The weird thing is I'm hearing a lot of people say it is good, but I don't care.
A lot of people are saying it's a lot of people are saying it's good.
I don't trust them.
I watched a clip. I mean, it wasn't other than Zoro's rubber sword. It wasn't that bad, but I mean, like it's strange seeing them as people and not animated dirt people.
Usopp is just a regular guy. What the
Yeah,
fuck is wrong with
Usopp has a regular nose. Luffy just
What's
looks
the
like a
point?
dude.
Luffy looks like a 60-year-old dude, let's be fair.
Luffy looks like a dude. Luffy sounds like a dude. I'm like, where's his weird anime woman not quite voice? That doesn't sound right.
Hey!
It's not even that. It's like
No.
really hard to.
No, I'm talking about Luffy's voice.
Yeah, I know. It's even Luffy voice. I'm like, that's not even what Luffy's voice is.
Hey, it's me, Luffy!
It's really. I mean, that's what the dub is.
That's what I'm saying, goddammit!
Oh, I was talking about the original Japanese version.
Nobody watches dub One Piece.
It's
nuts.
It's like that woman voicing a guy voice that I don't think I've ever heard in English voice actors, except for the produce.
Also, funnily enough, Funimation dub. What, Luffy?
Yeah, but she's just kind of like screaming. I guess. I don't know. I mean, maybe I've missed it. It's just like, I'm gonna yell everything. It's not the best.
She does the same
From
thing,
what I've
honestly.
seen, there is a lot of yelling.
She does the same shit. She does, honestly, I'm like, what's the difference between the Funimation and the 4Kids dub with Luffy himself? It does not very much.
No, I mean, the Funimation dub is not is stupid. That's about it.
I mean, it's
They actually follow the original story.
yeah. There's no poison suction cups in Funimation dub.
Yeah. I mean,
no poisons.
I'm talking about the sound of Luffy. Luffy's voice sound.
Yeah.
Apparently, Toei insisted they were gonna give him like a more, mellowy voice, and Toei was like, no, he has to sound like a screechy woman. That's how he sounds in Japan. That's how it's gonna happen here. I was like, okay.
I also I do have listened to the dub of One Piece before, and I do like most of the voice cast. I think Sanji's way too deep voiced.
No, I think the rest is fine. I'm just it's just Luffy.
But I also think Sanji shouldn't have like as deep a voice as he does.
Hey, it's me, Sanji.
I mean,
That's
it could
the
be
four
worse.
kids' voice. I don't care. It's funny.
I'm gonna say it could be the 4 kids. Hey, what's going on?
Bada bing, bada boom, mozzarella supreme.
Mean.
Ooh.
Mean. On the basis, Sanji's also just kind of lame in general, and I say this as someone who likes Sanji. I'm okay with him having a dumb voice.
Liking Sanji is knowing that Sanji's kind of fucking stupid.
It's not my favourite story yet.
Is he anybody's?
How does this have
I
shirts?
mean, law of averages, yeah, I suppose.
Sure, it's like Chopper must be someone's favourite straw hat.
I'm sure there are more people who would say Chopper is their favorite than
I'm gonna say
Sanji.
probably more people like Chopper than Sanji because I'm sure people that are like, I only like the cute characters.
No, I'm pretty sure Sanji will have fans if I because he's attractive dude who's not, eternal man-child Luffy.
or a sword autist.
Lots of people love Zoro.
Yeah.
You have no idea how many fangirls Zoro has.
Yeah, Zoro's like one of the most popular characters, like across like, you know, nations. I think Luffy is like #1 overall.
Well, he's the main character. That's usually gonna happen.
Obviously, but Zoro's pretty up there. It's all because he just keeps getting lost.
Where the hell am I? Where the hell are you?
Look, Zoro has 2 running jokes: getting horribly lost and getting brutally beaten half to death.
You know what? I'll take those over Sanji's becoming more of a pervert rather than a hopeless romantic shit.
Well, maybe he'll mellow out if he actually gets his wife. Meanwhile, I'm just like, do more Frankie, please, for the love of God.
No.
Yeah, poor Frankie.
You get nothing.
He hit someone with his bike recently.
It's like Frankie doesn't do much because the voice actor is not well.
Yeah, because it's Gino's voice actor, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's like 75 years old, and his voice is pretty messed up from smoking. And he was created in the first place just so that guy could have a regular part. So they're like, well, okay, I guess I can't do much with you now. That defeats the whole purpose of your creation.
Yeah, because he was the voice of Django.
Yeah, he was the voice of Django, and Oda watched that clip of the anime, and he's like, I like that guy. I got to give him a regular role.
Or Frankie.
Poor Frankie.
Poor Frankie.
Rest in peace.
Meanwhile, sorry, my brief sort of rewatch of like the anime stuff up to Logtown, or basically before they get to the Grand Line, and I'm like, oh yeah, Dragon shows up here, Luffy's dad.
Oh yeah, he shows up, and then everyone's like, that's Dragon, and then he won't show up again for like another 10 years.
And then 10 years later, when he showed up, he had one scene, and then it took another 10 years for him to show up.
Hey Luffy, bye, I'll see you in 10 years. Hey Luffy, I'll see you in 10 years.
Oh, he's literally never even had that. When he first meets Luffy, Luffy has no idea who the fuck he is. It's only when Luffy meets his grandfather, it's like, you know that was your dad, right?
Ah.
What now? Oh well, I don't care, I only like meat.
Pirates?
Yeah, basically.
Garp is the...
He's like, does it involve pirates or meat? No, then I don't care.
I don't care.
Garp is the best character.
Wait, no, I didn't read that right. I didn't do it like Dub Luffy. I'm leaving! Like leaving!
I did hear Garp.
Dad? Like, yes, you had a dad. Most people do.
Can you eat that?
It's like Persona 5. Futaba didn't have a father. What? Well, okay, I guess she must have had a father somewhere, but I never met the guy.
It's not me.
Yeah.
It's not me. Stop saying it's me.
Probably him, let's be honest.
Probably him.
I don't think it was, because he's always like, I used all my moves on her mother, and she wasn't interested.
It's just what he wants you to think.
He doesn't want you to realize how smooth he actually is.
No, let's be honest, his moves are probably like, will you please have sex with me? Will you please have sex with me? Will you please have sex with me? Just like, fine!
You know, it's better than playing that song, Shut Up and Sleep With Me. It's at least better than that.
Yes, it's never failed.
So he used the Kiji brother strategy.
Yes.
Please marry me. No, please marry me. No, please marry me. Oh, alright, fine.
Success!
But, hey, it worked. He got a wife and...
He got a wife, and then it's like, oh yeah. I was like, oh yeah, your wife's a monster.
Huh.
And then he got a second wife.
Ha 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 ha.
And
That was like the biggest.
Let down, pass pull.
I don't even know if it's a letdown or if it's just that was not what I was expecting, because like, wait, you mean my wife's a monster? Yeah, and then they all just kind of point at him and laugh, and that's the end of that. That is literally the and then meanwhile she's killed like off screen when none of the actual main characters are there.
Cool.
And yes, it's just he's like, your wife is a monster, and then the whole cast points at him and laughs, and the whole thing is played off as a joke.
Killed
was
off
like-
screen.
Thanks, Inoue. I hope you never write Sentai again.
Killed off screen, just like Punk Jack's suit.
Basically.
Who?
Character in Geats.
Oh.
He just kind of stopped.
So,
showing up.
so basically, Geats had this thing where like they repaint everyone's helmets so they can make it look so they can have 20 something Kamen Riders without needing 20 individual suits.
Because the whole point is it's like a game show battle royale kind of thing. So every season they'd have different competitors apart from the main four.
Yeah, so every like 6 episodes or so, they'd be like, it's another season. It's the main 4 and these other guys who conveniently have the same helmets that the other guys had, but repainted.
And one helmet that was for like 4 different characters with bear themes.
Yeah.
Got passed around a lot, and unfortunately one of them became a main character.
But his suit had already been repainted for someone else, so he just never transforms again.
So he just hangs around. He gets the shit kicked out of him by a guy with like a baton. That's about all he contributes.
Yeah.
To the point when he showed up in the finale, I was like, oh yeah, Punk Jack.
I was like, all right, you are still there. Maybe you should transform. And no, just gonna get punched. All right.
You gonna help at all? At any point? Any point? No? Okay. And also, Geats' final episode starts with him getting shot in the face. And for real dying.
Yeah.
He doesn't even technically get bullshit resurrected. He just becomes God.
Yeah, he's like, I'm God. I'm a god now.
So anyway, I just became God. Oh yeah, I did watch the first episode of Gotcha.
Oh, what did you think?
Not sure yet. Bit of a weird start.
Yes, it
But
was.
I'm hopeful that it's a weird start, but it will like get better. But now that it's introduced like 14,000 concepts, and I'm like,
What did you think of when the camera quality went to like 1995 level for one scene?
oh, no, I was like, yeah, that sucks. I'll just pretend that didn't happen.
Somebody screwed up.
So I hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
So they did a drone overhead fighting shot in the first episode, except for some reason the quality went down to like the minimal quality,
Oh,
like
7.
yeah. Whereas the rest of the episode is in like hyper HD, so
HD.
for all of a sudden for like 1 minute the quality just gets terrible. There we go.
Yeah.
That's what the show becomes for a minute. Apparently they screwed up shooting with the drone camera, and by the time they realized it, they'd already gotten rid of the monster suit.
Whoops.
And changed it to something else. So they're like, ah, crap. I guess we're stuck with it.
Well, on the bright side, at least so far, high likelihood we'll get a competent female character who'll hang around and do something again.
Until she dies.
No, the last ones haven't died.
Yeah, rider heroines usually live or get resurrected.
Yeah, they've not died in forever. That was the last one who actually died.
Like, for real?
Yeah.
I guess I think Ryuki's.
Oh no, died because what's her face?
Oh, well, I
Yeah,
mean,
she died.
she died, but she came back, sort of.
Oh yeah. Yeah, maybe. So yeah, the Rider Girls live now.
Yeah, Rider Girls live. It's just that the very first Rider Girl died, and that was kind of the precedent for a while.
Yeah. Now they're like, wait, no, you can sell toys with these ladies.
Wait, they
Keep
sell
around.
too? Shit.
Oh, Wizard was the last time the Rider Girl actually like died for good and never came back.
Oh, but no one cares about.
I was gonna say
fucking
nobody.
Wizard.
Even I was gonna say nobody cares about Wizard.
Well, I know, but I mean that was like the last time. Where like everyone expected her to get revived, and then she didn't.
Now we just gotta wait to see if our old pal Decado does indeed show up.
I wonder.
He's coming.
He's coming. Somebody's coming who looks just like Decade. It might be a different guy, in which case I was like, why? Or it could just be him.
It could just be Decade
But
again.
the guy's like posted the guy who like has the insider picture. He's like, I mean, it's Decade. I don't know if it's actually going to be him or if they're just two Kaisering it.
Imagine if it was Decade, though.
I mean, it probably would.
Imagine he was back to take another person's show.
He's back. It looks like why would he be back? Because they need his company. His company needs the next season of their original show to be funded. So he's like, "I'll be Decade again if you'll fund our next season." Sold.
You know who else is coming back? Kingu's
Oh
back.
yes, Kingu's back.
Fucking Kingu.
Kingu's back. Kingu's getting a re-release of the toys, including a mode where he takes over King Oger and kicks Gira out.
Poor Gira. He just wants to be the evil king. Why won't anyone let him?
I'm just wondering if this is going to be a yearly thing now.
What, the yearly thing of Kingu?
No, I would hope not, but a yearly thing of like, hey, it's a Sentai from 10 years ago getting a toy re-release that is now properly articulated. It also combines with the current show. So next year's Tokyuger.
Find out.
I guess we'll find out next year if a Tokyuger shows up and Tokyo comes back.
Except won't show up.
It's like, man, sure is too bad they repurposed Tokyo's sword in Geats.
Tokyuger won't turn them back up. Tokyuger was a massive flop.
Actually, Tokyuger did okay.
I thought it was a massive failure.
No, it didn't become the big. It didn't get the train otakus into it, but it did sell pretty good. Not as good as Kyoryuger though, but still pretty good.
Oh, okay then. Well, we know Lupin Ranger won't come back.
Probably not.
Oh yeah, also, just completely off topic, but yeah, Starfield came out and it's buggy as hell. It's a Bethesda game. Anyway, next story.
Yeah, I've been watching that.
Yeah, who gives a shit? Because it's like if you
here's what's you know what though I do want to make one funny thing about it though is that their games selling well is and people bitching about like AAA games. I'm just like, okay, well stop buying Bethesda games.
Yeah.
Like so people are talking about like, oh, devs are worried about Baldur's Gate because of its quality. Yeah, but you know what you just told them? You told them you'll buy that slop. So you bought that slop, and here's what's going to happen, too, for the Game Awards. I'm going to go this far in advance. Game Awards is going to be fucking all Starfield. It's all going to be Starfield.
Yeah, they're doing their best to bury Baldur's Gate because they're like, man, we don't want to be expected to put all this effort into it.
They are so happy that people started squealing like pigs eating their slop when this fucking shit got shoveled down the fucking shithole.
I mean,
although a lot of people are asking for refunds.
Not that many.
Not nearly enough as like you basically need it to be Fallout 76 again,
and it's not going to
be having. Yeah, and the problem is that as Dad has probably pointed out before, you can mod.
Yeah, whenever you have a conversation with a Bethesda fanboy and you go into the nitty-gritty of things, and you back them into the biggest corner you can, they will then scream, but the mods. Essentially. Now, if you tell them play it without... If you try to cut them off and say try playing without the mods, they'll insist that they did. I don't believe them.
So here's the other thing. I've not looked at anything related to Starfield because I kind of just know everything I already need to know. Like, of course I knew it was going to be buggy and borderline unplayable and trash out the game. Because it's a Bethesda game,
and like
that's literally like how many times have we been down this exact road?
And the writing isn't going to be good.
Every release,
and the writing
Fallout 3,
and the writing isn't going to be good because literally, all of like the writers that made shit that people liked, like they were all gone by the end of Oblivion's development. I'm not even kidding.
No, I'm sure. Like 99.9% of what Todd Howard told you would be in the game is not in the game.
Oh yeah, because hey, remember when Todd Howard said there was going to be 300 endings to Fallout 3?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember a lot of these promises.
I did have someone say like, oh yeah, well show me Todd Howard's lies, and I thought about going through specific articles and shit to prove it, but then I just fucking pulled up that video that's just, you know, tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies, complete with Todd Howard's quotes. That are lies.
Yeah, Grove Cat's got your back.
It's like, man, I don't even need to do the fucking work!
Point to me where this man lied. And it's like, can you just make it easier and I'll just point to you where he told the truth. Oh, wait, you can see I'm not pointing anywhere. There you go.
Tell me lies,
Bet his name's not even really Todd Howard.
You know, actually, I don't think it is either, at this point.
I think it's Todd Coward. That's why he gets so angry when people call him that.
It just works.
I am not a coward. I am a strong man. Very
We
strong
made fun of
and virile.
We made fun of the fact that he's a small dicked wiener face, right? Last time, and that he, has to pay for his own applause. Fucking
Does he?
loser.
Yeah!
He did. Yeah, in one of the E3s, Bethesda allegedly bribed / shilled out for the first 2 rows to be people who would, basically be hype people and cheer no matter what, encourage other people to cheer. Allegedly. But very probably.
But I mean,
Interesting.
would you be shocked that Todd Howard would do it?
I'd be shocked if he didn't, honestly.
Considering the shit that he does.
Knowing his character as just a weasel in human form.
You know, honestly, I don't think we should call him a weasel because we're insulting weasels.
I mean, when I say weasel, I mean like the weasels in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, incompetent fuckwits.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you know what? Now I'm on board.
Who all die horribly.
Because I was gonna say weasels, like the animal, they're kind of cute. And they can get away with shit.
He's especially the one that gets kicked in the balls. Hope. I wouldn't, wish to assault anyone, which is a lie. Actually, I'm already starting with a lie, so, feels applicable when we're talking about Todd Howard. But,
Degenerates.
if he got hit by a truck, I would be like, yeah. Couldn't have been a Bethesda-made truck because it would have clipped through him.
He just fall through the floor. Like, what? And by the way, what makes the point about, like, a Bethesda game being buggy as it is like, so sometimes a bug will happen for, like, various reasons that have it, pop up. In a Bethesda game, doing odd shit is less likely to have a bug pop up than doing just, I'm walking through a goddamn door.
That's ultimately the biggest issue, because, glitches and bugs exist, and as game development gets more and more complicated, the bugs will become more and more frequent. That's just a fact,
yeah.
And, things will always slip through the cracks. The real problem is that Bethesda does indeed actually have a halfway decent QA team, or
they do.
QA team.
Their QA team is fine. It's just they don't fucking listen to them.
The problem is that they just get responses back that say will not fix, or will fix later.
And then they don't.
And they push out shit to develop out the door when they know full well it's still not really, it's not quality approved. Which is why, when they tell you fucking lies about how, we cancelled this game because it didn't meet our high standards, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, you cretin?
Exactly.
Like, of all the
In fact, maybe...
of all the lies you could have told.
And honestly, you know what I think?
I would more likely believe that an asteroid crashed through the building and destroyed all the servers containing all the data for the game before I would believe that it didn't meet your quality.
Well, you see, no. I think I can explain that they're not lying. Hold on, I can explain. It was too high quality.
Yeah, probably. So it's like, yeah, I have no interest in Bethesda as a company for their... mistakes happen. Even as much as I don't care for CD Projekt Red stuff, I'm like, yeah, whatever, Cyberpunk is it was bad, but I get it in AAA gaming. It shouldn't happen, but I get it that it happens. But Bethesda, it's it always happens. There's never any period where they have to go, oh yeah, maybe we should do better, because every time they do worse and worse and worse. And it's all the same shit that it was last time.
I mean,
and
even the game that wasn't
it.
made by them, but it was the actual good Fallout game had a lot of bugs on release. Their engine.
That one's a funny one. So Fallout New Vegas. Now, obviously, we can talk about the engine, the fucking fact that the engine's a piece of shit. But so the QA with that game was supposed to be handled by Bethesda, but they'd ever got anything back. Also, they had a very small development window. Like, I think it was like 8 months or something like that. Like, something
And they still made it. And they still made a pretty good
They made
game.
it like, honestly, the game is really good. That's despite it being in that engine, and despite Bethesda having various restrictions on what they could do.
It was so good that they wouldn't let you. That they refused to reference it in any other
Yeah,
Fallout stuff.
you could almost feel Todd Howard is mad that people are like, oh yeah, but man, Fallout New Vegas, that one's fucking great.
What do you mean you're not saying one of my games? My games are better. My games are the best.
Oh.
Wait till you see Starfield, my magnum opus!
Yeah. As I said, I'm just very much of the opinion that it's not even worth pretending to look into Starfield or watching videos on Starfield to have a frame of reference, because I just don't care anymore. If people are going to enjoy it, fine. But
just so you know, you're part of the problem.
You are, just
so you know, you're part of the problem.
Yeah, just accept that you are the reason. Yeah, just as long as they accept they are literally the reason why shit never gets better.
I bought Baldur's Gate Armored Core 6. Great, excellent, complete games. And you bought trash. Yeah. You bought trash. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You bought garbage. Trash. Enjoy your slop. Dumbass. Don't complain anymore about AAA space. You're not allowed. If you bought Starfield, you're not allowed. You've had enough time. You've had enough time to realize it. You saw Fallout 76. You still here? Too bad. You're part of the problem. You are shit. You are trash, and it's your fault.
I feel like Bethesda is basically summed up entirely in the one SpongeBob meme of how many times you have to teach you this lesson, old man. And the old man is us, the consumer. and the lesson is how much they hate us.
They hate us a lot. But you see, it doesn't matter because, yeah, we have brains and are like, yeah, I'm not gonna buy your fucking shitty game. But I even have like a coworker going like, Dan, you gonna get Starfield? I'm like, no. And eventually he kept bothering me with it. I said, I don't want to play a shitty game.
Oh.
I was like, I only like to play good games.
Oh, I could never have that. I literally told the story to someone else. Which is, do you ever have those moments of like mild social embarrassment where you just think, I could kill everyone in this room,
yes,
just to avoid this minor inconvenience? It's like, so I went to buy something from the corner shop and I had the right sort of change for my thing, but I gave the wrong coin, so I was like technically short, and I was like, oh yeah, sorry, here's the real coin. And like, there were people in the store with me, I was like, I could kill all of you just to get. I would happily murder all of you just to stop this level of social embarrassment I'm feeling. But I mean, you know, that's just me. Maybe it's not just me. Maybe everyone else thinks that too. But anyway, Starfield.
Of course not.
Anyway, Starfield, poo-poo. Let's talk about something fun. Oh, have you heard about the concrete thing going on over here?
What?
Okay, so there's something called, I can't remember the exact term. It's a form of concrete that basically has air bubbles inside because it allows it to dry quicker. But the pockets of air inside the concrete cause other problems, i.e. It forms crack. I.e. when concrete cracks, which it does because it's a material that degrades over time, water can get into those air pockets and, you know, cause a lot of damage, because that's just what water does to building materials. That's what water does in general, really. So anyway, this particular style of concrete was popular to build with from like the 60s to the 90s, and then they stopped doing it because it turns out, as for the reasons stated before, it's actually kind of fragile. So the problem is like hundreds of schools in this country are made at have this concrete in it, so they're now structurally unsafe. So like 2 days before schools start, the government had to put out a warning, say, yeah, here's a list of schools that are just going to have to, you know, stay shut, so you fuckers can sort that out. And then you're like, man, this was such a tragedy. How long did this is such a, you know, unfortunate set of circumstances. How much forewarning did you have on this? Oh, about, you know, 15 years. Sorry, what?
I'm what?
So you knew that this was going to be you knew this was going to be a problem for 15 years. You didn't do anything about it. Well, we did set up a fund to, you know, give schools money to, you know, repair it. Okay, so it was originally proposed to go a fund to go to 400 schools a year, and then the Chancellor of the Exchequer at the time slashed it down to 50 schools per year. You might be thinking, wow, what a silly school, what a silly error. What kind of person would ever do that? I mean, well, surely they got fired, surely they didn't get promoted or get a top job. So anyway, that's our Prime Minister.
But you know what? This isn't really that surprising, just because this shit happens all the time where there's some obvious flaw with some shit, and they just keep it quiet until they're looking the barrel of the gun in the face.
I just love that the Minister for Education did an interview when all this was going on, and she clearly thought they'd stopped recording, because she said after the interview, no one ever tells you when you're doing a fucking good job, do they? I'm like, call this a good job? I always love I just love the idea that she thinks, oh yeah, we've just shut all of these schools like a day before schools restart. And she's like, why isn't anyone thanking us? On the bright side, I am about to beat Super Shredder with Michelangelo. Oh yeah, Saber, Super Shredder's in Shredder's Revenge 2.
Oh no. Not Super Shredder.
And there's no peer to drop on him this time.
Oh. I mean, drop on himself.
Yeah.
Because that's basically what he did. He just kind of flailed around angrily for 30 seconds and then made the pier fall on himself.
Remember when the we can't. It's not really fair to call it the Michael Bay Turtles, but the Michael Bay Turtles was going to have a white guy be Shredder.
Yeah, and they were like, no.
And then they had to very hastily add in a bunch of random scenes with the guy who was going to be Shredder talking to some random Japanese guy and be like, so, Mr. the Shredder, how are you, the Shredder?
I am good. I, Mr. the Shredder.
You're definitely a Rokusaki. It wasn't meant to be me, a white guy.
What? No, that's silly.
But I never saw the second one.
I mean, the second one is just funny because freaking Green Arrow's in it.
Oh yeah, because he's Casey Jones.
Green Arrow is as like the whiniest Casey Jones ever.
He doesn't hit people from Rocksteady with the Scuzzballs. The Arrow season 4.
No, yeah, he does not use the Arrow season 4.
That would be too cruel.
That would be too cool. No, but he's a you're going to jail for good, Shredder.
Jail.
And then Shredder. Yeah, well they somehow they arrest Shredder and put him on a prison convoy, and then the Foot breaks him out. And the turtles.
Makes sense.
The turtles chase him in their van that actually shoots manhole covers, and it's a surprisingly decent scene for a Michael Bay film, but it's just like it's weird that
Not technically Michael Bay. It's unfair to say it's like saying Nightmare Before Christmas is a Tim Burton movie. It's like clearly had influence, but it's not him.
Yeah. So that was just.
Well, it's good.
But like he's one of the police
Hey,
guards.
the
in the
first
truck,
Tim
and he's
Burton
like,
Batman movie had his influence.
I'll explain the exact last good movie Tim Burton made, but after Saber finishes his point.
Sorry, I just wanted to make a joke.
No, it's just that it's like he's like you're going to jail, Shredder, and then that's basically all of their interaction for the rest of the movie.
Oh, he sure did watch out for Shredder.
Also, the girl that plays Karai in that movie is like the girl who voices the lead in Tales of Xillia. I just thought that was funny.
Neat.
Yes.
But fuck, I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh right, yeah.
Oh, Tim Burton movies. The last good one.
The only good Tim Burton, or the last good Tim Burton movie.
Ed Wood is the last good movie he ever made.
Yeah.
Everything else, like average at best, but mostly shite.
But he's a genius.
I don't think anyone's said that in like 20 years. I feel like after Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I was like, oh no. No, I tell a lie. Corpse Bride is good. But Corpse Bride is more like the. But then again, Corpse Bride is also just really ripping off The Nightmare Before Christmas. So you borrow from a good movie, you can make a good movie, as it turns out.
This is true, but
Not always.
yeah.
Other than that, I will at some point within the next month have to start replaying the Spider-Man games in preparation for Spider-Man 2.
Oh yeah, 'cause that's coming out soon.
I want to be able to give my opinion on it, and I might even reread Craven's Last Hunt to see how much I'm going to steal from them.
Yeah, honestly, good idea.
I mean, be inspired
Pilfer.
by, but also they will steal because it's the most iconic Craven story, and it's the one where he shoots himself.
Alright, I think this is a good place to stop, honestly. Because I know if I go in
Yeah,
that
it's
tower,
always-
it's going to be a big cutscene.
It is always a good time to stop when we talk about people shooting themselves.
Jesus Christ. It's time to leave.